My parents cut me off 7 years ago because I was fruity and changed religions. Now they're going nuts after finding out I have a child, and they want to sue me for grandparents' rights. I was a difficult child growing up, to use my mother's favorite term. The oldest of 5 kids, I was never interested in boys, but I was really into science, math, etc. My mom especially kept trying to pressure me into more traditionally feminine pursuits. In my junior year of high school, she started trying to set me up with boys from families she approved of. We fought a lot. I was able to get through all of that and, thanks to scholarships, could go to college. My parents grumbled, but I have a passion for a field that happens to be very high paying, and my mom wasn't subtle about pushing me to get an Mrs. degree. Things came to a head when 3 things happened. I got a terrific job offer from a major company in my field. It required me to move to another state, but they'd pay me to finish my degree. I took the offer immediately, which gave me the independence to do the 2 other things. I came out as gay. My parents went back and forth between refusing to believe me and insisting that it was wrong and disgraced our family. I converted to another religion. At the time, I was getting serious with a woman of a different faith than the one I'd been raised in, and while I didn't convert purely because of her, she was a factor. My parents did not approve, to say the least. In short, the resulting series of fights led to my parents declaring that if I took this job and continued on my course of being a lesbian and converting to this other religion, they'd disown me. I let them disown me and completely cut contact with everyone in my family except my little sister. She was still living at home with my parents and we'd always gotten along very well, so I quietly kept in contact with her. I haven't seen or spoken a word to my parents or anyone in my family except my little sister in 7 years. I'm still working for the same company, now in a higher level position that gives me a very comfortable living. I'm also now married to a woman, not the one I'd been dating when I cut contact with my family but of the same religion, and faith is important to us both. I have a lovely little girl. My wife's from a previous, heterosexual, marriage, and through IVF I'm now pregnant. Our wedding was a small, private thing, mostly with my wife's family and some friends. No one from my family was present. Now, a few days ago my sister was in a car accident, drunk driver, and she's not at fault, but I was able to step in and cover her medical bills since her job doesn't pay enough for how badly she was hurt. I was on the phone with my sister talking about possibly coming to visit, and we were talking about whether my daughter should come with me when I suddenly heard my mom's voice yell, "Daughter?" My mom was visiting my sister, so she grabbed the phone away from her. She started screaming at me about how I could have a daughter, why I did not tell her I was getting married, how I could steal her grandchildren from her, etc. Eventually, I snapped, told her, "I have a daughter, you do not have a granddaughter," and hung up. Predictably, my social media and phone have been blowing up with my parents and relatives who think they have a right to my life and my daughter after they disowned me for pursuing a life of my own, being gay, and converting to another religion. They've really focused on my daughter especially. I'm apparently the first of my parents' children to have kids, and my parents have gone nuts with our granddaughter. I've blocked everyone I can, and my wife already took precautions to make sure no one can do something crazy like I've read about estranged parents pulling on this forum, trying to pick up our daughter from school without us, breaking into our house, etc. The problem is, my sister thinks I'm being mean. She'd like to meet my wife and her niece without hiding it from the family and thinks I can meet my family somewhere in the middle. My gut feeling says no. My family burned their bridges years ago, and I don't want my daughter exposed to people who think I'm sick, shameful, and sinful for living my life the way I've chosen. My wife agrees. Still, from someone who's not intimately tied up in this mess, am I being unfair to my parents? Should I hear them out? Or should I just keep stonewalling them? Update 2. This morning, my sister informed me that my parents are seeking legal options for the court to force them to have access to my daughter via grandparents' rights. My sister, and, therefore my parents, do not know that my daughter is not biologically mine and is, therefore, not related to them. My wife and I are in a very stable middle-class situation and are working on having another child. As such, and because my parents are out of state and disowned me because of my sexuality and religion, I'm pretty sure this is a bluff, but I thought I'd ask here. Do I have anything I need to worry about legally? Final update. My sister says my parents talked it over with a family friend who works in law, and the friend pretty much laughed them out of the room.